Wrestling has completely changed my life. Over the years, I was a really nervous and anxious person, and just through everything that it's taught me, it's definitely made me a stronger and more confident person.
It's not really much of a hobby, more of a passion. It's something I do whenever I feel stressed. It's a way I clear my mind out of things in life. Like if I'm stressed with school or family, I know that soccer's always going to be there because I've been doing it ever since I was young.
There's always girls that are always going to be better than me, taller girls, short girls that are way faster, but I always think to myself that it don't matter and I always work hard and hustle. When I went to John C. Fremont High School my freshman year, there was no JV team. I had to go straight to varsity because we didn't have enough girls playing for JV. And it was hard because I didn't really know the fundamentals.
I started wrestling because my friend had invited me. We couldn't get our schedules changed, so we had to dedicate our own time at 5:30 in the morning and then after school from 2 to like 6 p.m. to condition and kind of just introduce us to the sport. Other male wrestlers that are involved in the sport, in the past they have treated us pretty poorly and just told us to quit or it's not for us. We're not as strong or competitive as them, or we don't do things properly within wrestling. We want to be good, and all these negative things that are like being put on us, it can affect us in the way like that we wrestle, but often we just try to ignore it. There's definitely a huge stigma with women's wrestling and how it's been dominated by males for quite a while, but when people approach me in that sense and tell me that it's not for you, it makes me want to work hard. Male coaches didn't really quite understand how to coach us just because it's extremely different from coaching guys. Our bodies are completely different. An example of this would be women are way more flexible than guys, and so a lot of these moves that they would teach us, girls could easily get out of it. Compared to a guy, it wouldn't be the same.
At the age that I first started playing soccer was 6, but I didn't really like the sport by then because I was still a little young. But then I went back into playing the sport at 8, and that's when I really fell in love with the sport. When I first moved to the United States, I had spent 2 years without my dad because I was in El Salvador, he was already here. And soccer was a way for me and my family to bond because we're all really active. My mom actually plays too. So in my high school soccer team, we don't really get all the funding that we need. I feel like there's a lot of injustice there because the guys soccer team doesn't really win as many games or as many titles, unlike the girls, but they still get all the new stuff, the new soccer balls, the new jerseys and everything, and we had to work hard to get all the new stuff we wanted. I feel the only time we receive attention is when we're made it to quarterfinals or semifinals. That's when people start to realize, oh, that we actually can play. And I feel like we don't get that much attention because we don't have that much publicity at school. Like with the guys' football team or soccer team, you see posters everywhere. You hear all the announcements on the intercoms. All the teachers are like, oh, go support the guys' soccer team. But when it comes to the girls playing, they don't really pay that much attention to it. And that really reflects on the students' support to the team too. Being a coach for young kids is really rewarding because I feel like I'm really making a difference in their lives. Some of the struggles, training a group of little kids who are mostly boys, is all the doubt from the parents. Many times when my dad introduces me to them as the person who trains their kids, they're very doubtful. They're always asking me how old I am or how long have I been playing and if I really know what I'm doing. And I know they don't mean it in a bad way, like they're just not used to seeing a young female coaching a group of little kids.
So we don't really get enough resources because we don't have a committed coach. A lot of girls don't really want to play basketball for the consistency of our coaches. They're never committed. The guys' basketball team are ranked 1, they're top than us, and we're Division 4. So when we play basketball, we barely have people. We barely have like 20 people, 14 people. Compared to the guys' basketball team, they have a full crowd. What we need from people to help us make a change is more fundings, more support at games, especially from the guys basketball team to help us lift us up.
Just the simple fact that if people came out to support us during the games, I feel like it would really encourage us to try harder and to try to get further ahead for our school and to like show people that we're worth the support, like we're worth you being here, spending your time looking at our team.
Some changes that we need to see in women's wrestling would definitely be more publicity, more support from our school, definitely more funding, and more collegiate wrestling programs for girls in the future so they can continue their wrestling career.